Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Today's video is 8 tips for driving in Mexico.
Hola, I'm Neosha.
And I'm Nick.
We moved from Kansas.
To Mexico.
We are sharing our journey with you.
We hope you enjoy.
May God bless you.
Que Dios te bendiga. Get Mexican car insurance. Your U.S. insurance does not cover you down here. And if you actually, on the insurance topic, if you still owe money on your car, you actually need permission from whoever holds your loan to actually come to Mexico. So not only do you have to have it insured here, but you need to have permission to bring it here. We didn't owe any money on ours, it was paid off. And so all we had to do was get the insurance and head down.
Yeah.
It's also, you need to make sure that you bring it in legally with a temporary import permit, a tip. And for that, you're gonna need your original title, you're gonna need copies, you're gonna need a lot of things. Make sure you do your research on that before you bring it into the country.
Yeah.
But that's a different video. This is for actual driving tips.
Exactly. If you do want a video on those items, knowing all that, then let us know below. All right, number 2, watch for topes.
Speed bumps, reductors, they have speed bumps everywhere. Down where we're at, they really don't enforce the speed, and really they won't pull you over unless you're doing something really stupid. They just put in topes everywhere that they want you to slow down. And if you hit them at full speed, you will do some damage and you'll go for a bit of a ride. It's not that much fun. We've never hit one full speed, but we've hit them faster than we should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because apparently they magically appear out of nowhere, according to Nick.
She doesn't drive down here, so she doesn't know. And her eyesight's terrible. So when she does start driving more down here, she's gonna hit them, and I'm gonna make fun of her. Just so everybody's clear on when that happens.
Okay, let's go on. All right, number 3.
Carry cash for your
Right.
tolls. They're kind of trying to get away from some cash, so it'd probably be good to buy one of their little toll tags, passe, or whatever it's called. You can buy them at most of the OXXO gas stations, and those are good most of the time. But make sure you have cash as well, because we've heard stories about those tags not always working as well. So it's good to have both. I think we're going to get one next time we drive north. We're going to get one of the toll tags, but usually we just pay cash.
Yeah.
Mexican cash.
Pesos.
It cost us about $100 American worth, which is about 2,000 pesos to get from the border, the northern border, down to Oaxaca. So I mean, it's not super cheap. Yeah, they don't really care for you handing them a $500 bill every time you get there. I know that they have $1,000 bills as well, and I've only seen
Pesos.
a few of those. Yeah, 1,000 peso bills. I've seen a few of them. Nobody likes making change for those. If you have them, I'd use them for gas and things, but if you've got, 500s and lower is really the goal. At the toll roads, 200 and lower would be nice.
Yeah. All right. Number 4, use the quota roads.
Which is the toll roads. It's usually safer. There's no place that's 100% safe here, anywhere in the world really, but the toll roads tend to be during the heaviest traffic parts of the day. They tend to be the safer option. There's just more people, there's more National Guard traffic, more Army traffic. They just tend to be a lot safer.
And plus the structure of the road is better.
Right. There's a lot of toll roads. There's only one toll road on the way down here from the north border down to here that it's kind of rough to drive on, and that's the Arco Norte around Mexico City. Oh, it's a little rough. It's
used a lot.
It is used constantly, and so it's just in a little bit of disrepair at the moment. But there are some really nice toll roads.
Yeah. Isn't that one the more expensive toll road too?
Yes, it is one of the more expensive ones. So right now, the most expensive one is right down here by us, between Oaxaca City and Puerto Escondido. That one costs us almost 500 pesos to drive side to side, which is like $25. I mean, it's pretty high priced.
Yeah.
One other thing you want to make sure you have some money for while you're driving toll roads, regular roads, any roads, is 5 peso coins or some combination that adds up to 5 pesos. for restrooms.
Yeah.
A lot of the gas stations and things you go to, you need to pay to get into the restrooms. It's usually a good idea to carry toilet paper with you as well. Usually they have some
But
for
it's
sale.
$1 for a little bit.
Right.
So,
And so it's good to carry a roll with you in the car.
yeah.
Just
We
take it.
We put a roll of toilet paper in a baggie, and then we just take it into the bathroom with us. So,
Yep.
yeah.
So anyway, that's a good driving tip.
Yeah.
Number 5, know that driving styles differ. It took me a little bit to get used to that. The first time we drove down here, well, the first time we came down here, I didn't drive at all. I rode with our friend Steve, and it made me nervous driving with him. And now that I've done it on my own, I understand why he drove the way he does. Because everybody drives that way. You need to expect quick lane changes, and a turn signal does not mean that somebody's turning necessarily. It might mean that it's okay to pass them. And if you're using your turn signal, you better make sure that you have your hand out the window if you're actually turning. Because if you don't have your hand out the window, they're going to think that it's safe to pass, and they're going to come around you. And it almost put us in a car wreck the first couple of weeks we were down here. It was a bad deal.
We learned the hard way.
Yeah, but luckily there was no damage to us or the other car. They got around us. They drove
Safely.
through the ditch a little bit, but got around us and moved on. But we don't make that mistake anymore. If we're making a left turn, our hands out the window, letting people know, hey, we're turning.
So learning that, we now know that we should have researched more on the driving rules and whatever.
Like customs. It's not even
Yeah,
a rule. It's just a
exactly.
custom at this point.
Yeah, that way we make everybody safe on the road along with us. And so that's why we're sharing these tips with you.
And you need to learn to drive on the shoulder so people can pass. When you're in a 2-lane road, we've been in some 2-lane roads that we will be 4 cars wide on. People passing on the shoulders or passing in the lanes of traffic.
Yeah.
Usually 3 cars wide is not uncommon. We have gone 4 cars wide on a 2-lane road, and it makes me a little anxious.
It works.
But yeah, I mean, it gets you where you're going fast, and it is kind of nice. I wish we could do some of that in the United States, but in the States, I don't think people are paying enough attention to. I think you'd have more wrecks.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised they don't have more wrecks here, but I think people are just paying more attention.
Yep.
So there's plenty of wrecks here too, but it seems like a lot fewer than what I would expect for how the driving.
And I don't think it's
Is down
careless wrecks like in the States.
Yeah.
So, all right, so number 6, you're gonna wanna download some offline maps.
Right, that was something I figured out when we were down here, because you lose signal pretty regularly. Some phones just don't work down here at all, ours do. But you lose signal pretty regularly. It's nice to be able to have those maps available. So all of our Google Maps, Google's what I use. It's not failed us yet, but Google Maps allows me to download offline maps. So I have a map for the entire way down here. You have to download it in chunks.
Yeah, I heard of map.me. I haven't researched it or anything, so that's another one that has been recommended.
Yep.
So,
And make sure you're double checking your route before you leave. There's Facebook groups and other things you can get into, and kind of check for safety things, and just so you get somewhat real-time information.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's sometimes road closures and
Yeah.
other things.
good advice on there.
There's not always a quick and easy way around a road closure. We had to go through, actually, the first time we went through Carretero, which turned out to be a good thing probably, because we learned that we actually really liked that city. But the first time we went through there was an accident. We didn't mean to go through there, but there was an accident on the bypass, the toll road. It shut down all of that traffic.
So
which
we had to
sent
go through.
10 times as many people. It took us 3 hours to get through the town. It was a long day.
Yeah.
But it's good to be able to keep up on all of those things.
Yeah. Number 7, avoid driving at night.
Not only are there, everybody thinks that that's a cartel related thing, and to some extent it is, there's banditos and things on the road at night, banditos on the road during the day. Mostly that is for potholes and livestock and deer and topes, and there are just a lot of hazards hazards that are hard to see during the day, let alone in the dark. We drive at night between our nearest town and us, sometimes after church, but that's a road that we travel every week repeatedly. And so we know the area well enough. But there's still been times on that road that we know that well. You'll meet somebody riding a bike in the dark and they're just trying to get where they're going, but so dangerous.
Yeah.
And if you end up in a wreck and somebody gets hurt, somebody's going to jail. And if you're an American, it's probably going to be you. So
Yeah.
just make sure you're being safe.
Exactly. Very true. And it's not just an American, it's a foreigner. So that's what I would think is if you're a foreigner. So, all right. Number 8, keep documents handy. And this is the last one, but we have a bonus one.
Yep, we've got your passport, your FMM, your proof of Mexican insurance, driver's license, and most importantly, the only thing that they've ever actually asked for at the checkpoints is our temporary import permit. They assume if we have the import permit, we have the rest of the documentation, because you need the rest of the documentation to get it. So at pretty much every checkpoint we've been stopped at, they want to see that temporary import permit. Make sure that we're there legally. That one I actually keep in a folder, in my car, so when they pull me over, I can just pull it out and say, here, this is what it is. I try and make a color copy of that one. There have been times that people have talked about getting, the police will kind of hang on to really important documents until you pay them a bribe to get them back. So,
Which this is our bonus tip.
yeah, so I guess the bonus tip is to keep copies of all of that stuff. Color copies, black and white copies, whatever. We have some of everything. Keep your copies. If you get pulled over, you give a copy of your license to them. You can show them the real one. I would not hand it over to them, unless you're really forced to.
We've heard stories.
Yeah. It must not be horribly prevalent, but it's an important thing. Just make sure you hand them copies whenever possible instead of the real thing.
Because they will hold your actual one and, ask for a bribe or whatever, and that's the stories we've heard.
We have heard most of those stories that we've heard that about were around the Mexico City area. We kind of avoid that area. Actually, but it was between Acapulco and Mexico City. There was where they seemed to have some corruption issues.
Yeah.
So, but it's good not to hand over all of everything, all of the originals, because it might be a struggle to get them back.
Yeah. So it's just being aware and being safe, and I don't know. These are just tips that we've learned and that we're just sharing along with you.
Like we said, we've actually never run into these problems some of these problems that we're talking about. We've been very fortunate. We feel like God's protected us every step of this journey. But it's stuff that we hear about online all the time. So
Yeah.
it's good to know what you're getting into.
Yeah, exactly. So that's 8 tips plus a bonus tip of driving in Mexico. We hope that this was very helpful for you. And if you are not subscribed, make sure to subscribe for more videos. And we will see you in the next video.
Nos vemos pronto.
Adios.